Hello there, and welcome to some news! Surprisingly, after quite a delay, we have got some actual Fire Emblem news with Fire Emblem Engage, and I am actually really kind of excited. A little bit ambivalent, a little bit torn in some aspects, but overall excited. So, I was initially going to do an analysis video. I thought it'd be kind of fun, but by the time I really got it together, there were like 100 analysis videos out there, and they were all kind of done by people who could do it a lot better than I could. So I kind of just thought I would just watch through the trailer, pause at a few key moments, give my thoughts, a little bit of like light analysis, but just overall just kind of have some fun with it. Have a little bit of, a little bit of light discussion, I guess. Just to start, we're on the wheel, which is probably the most controversial aspect of the entire game out of the gate. The past characters cameoing. I have very mixed feelings about it, but overall, I don't love it. I feel like if I wanted to see all of these characters interact, and if I wanted to use all of them together, I would probably just play Heroes. Heroes has been around for half a decade at this point. It's still going. I don't really see the need to have these characters here and taking up focus. If they were just like side aspects and DLC, whatever, amiibos, I wouldn't really care, but the fact that they're a focal point of the game just makes me a little bit critical. I'm also really surprised, just like a really brief aside, this game seems to take a lot of inspiration from Heroes. At a glance, Ike is blatantly Brave Ike from Heroes, and Lucina is using her bow from her legendary ult. There are a lot of like really like small Heroes design points throughout the video. I was just kind of like really surprised by that. I am actually interested in the kingdom setup. It's a little reminiscent of Fodlan, admittedly, with like a bunch of kingdoms that surround a central church. I'm hoping it's not like that. The fact that there aren't paths kind of makes me think that it's not going to be a retread of that, but it looks vaguely interesting. That's something. So I'm kind of interested to see what the story does with that aspect. On the subject of story, it's the Fell Dragon. I really hope it's not literally Grima. We've done Grima twice now. I don't really see the need to do Grima again. Maybe it could just be like an homage. It could just be, using the same title, just as kind of a throwback. Hopefully it's not literally Grima. That would be a pretty big disappointment, if I'm being totally honest. I just don't see what could be gained out of revisiting Grima other than just pure fan service. And I feel like when Fire Emblem goes pure fan service, it tends to kind of miss the mark. There's Mr. Dude. I kind of assume he's just like an evil priest. Probably like Garnif and Jeddah. Probably not the real villain, but those ears are as big as butter knives. Like, what the hell, dude? How do you put on a hat? I don't understand. You definitely do not look nice. I can say that. Well, here he is. It's Toothpaste-chan. Yeah, the leaks were all true. If you watched my video about the leaks, I was not a fan at the time. I pretty much said they look fake, they look like a cheap knockoff, they look bad, please don't do this to Fire Emblem. So imagine my groans of disappointment when, oh boy, here's Mr. Toothpaste. Still not honestly in love with a lot of these character designs overall. I think that some of them are okay, like at a glance. I actually really kind of like this chick. It's really hard to get a good shot of her, but she looks fun. She looks like a character I'll probably enjoy. Not Dimitri looks pretty cool. Very, very blatantly similar to Dimitri, but more anime and boyish, and maybe slightly more effeminate. He's got kind of like flowers in his hair, which I'm all for. If you want to do like a more, I don't know, less emo Dimitri, who's more fun, maybe a little bit more open with himself. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know. Obviously I can't guess anything about his actual character at a glance, but the similarities are definitely there, and they have been pointed out extensively. Oh boy, that chick is like... She strikes me as if some character designer said, we really like Tharja, but we don't want to copy your homework. We want to do Tharja, but we don't want to do Tharja. Give us a mage goth girl, but it's not Tharja. We promise it's not Tharja. I foresee this character getting 8 alts in Heroes, and everyone's gonna hate her. And she's gonna win CYL because of her design alone. Just a guess, but probably an accurate guess. I will say, I probably would, like, Toothpaste-chan's design isn't that bad, inherently. The problem with Toothpaste-chan is the hair. It looks so goofy, it's so silly. I don't really see why they needed to do the blue and red hair, other than just that it's a common. Those are 2 common hair colors in the series. It just feels like everything about this is blue and red, blue and red, blue and red, blue and red. That's like the entire design philosophy around this character, and it just looks. It's just over the top with it. You can do a design like that and make it more subtle. Make it like blue hair with a few red elements tossed in. You could do the heterochromia, that looks fine. The clothes aren't bad, even if they're a little on the nose about it. It's really just the hair that looks so silly. I really, again, am not fond. I'm hoping that these cameo characters are mostly just trailer moments. I'm really hoping that they're not actively tied to the story. We'll see. These 2, side note, they're probably just minor characters, but I did see a theory on Twitter that maybe they look kind of similar to Soth and Micaiah. Maybe they're their descendants. I hope not. I really, really hope not. It would be a kind of cute, like a fan service moment, but I also feel like if we're doing that, then we're really getting into hard confirming ships and stuff like that, and that is a dangerous, dangerous route to tread. I don't think it's the case. I think it's probably just a coincidence, but it just was an amusing aside that I happened to see. Again, if you just made this character have 1 hair color, the design would not be bad. It's very anime. It's not... I'm not really a fan of Gust's designs, and allegedly this is all Gust. But, oh, that hair. And then we get to gameplay, which is a big thing for me. I like the looks of the early gameplay. I'm not in love with it, but I do think that the maps look interesting. I like that forts are back, and I like that villages are back. The maps look like there's a lot going on, and that's a good thing. I felt like Three Houses maps were often a little bit too bland. And I don't want to say that. I feel like that's a very mean thing to say. But they did feel a little bit dry at times, so having a little bit more variety going on here is nice. My issue with the gameplay at a glance is that the characters have really, really low movement, and I'm not really sure why. I don't know if the maps are just very small. I don't know if it's just an intentional decision to make them last longer, but it is kind of worrying that this character has 4 movement, and the Jagan, who is mounted, has 6 movement. That just feels really low for what it is. Otherwise, I like the UI. It's very snappy. It's you can really tell everything going on at a glance. You just kind of glance at the bottom, you see the stats, or you see the YouTube bar in my case because I'm an idiot. But either way, it's nice. I absolutely love... Okay, I went back too far, but whatever. We're just gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna half speed. I absolutely love the little jump in, the little jump in animations for the combatants. That's very nice. It looks clean. It looks pretty. It's nice little touch. I'm a fan. I also think that the UI here is nice. Not much to say. It's been pointed out, weapon triangle is back. That's a good thing. It's very easy to read what's going on here. Alir does 10, Corrupted does 6, Alir does 10. All of the relevant information is very easy to read, and that's a good thing. We turn the speed back on. Yes. The animations look good, I think. They're not, like, blowing me away, but they do strike me as a little bit more in the line of, I guess, I don't want to say Shadows of Valentia, because that game had really good animations, but less Three Houses, a little bit more snappy, quick. Looks good. Not winning any awards again, but I also want to point out again that the maps look really vibrant, and that's nice. In the leaks, everything looked very, very drab and lifeless, and I was just really skeptical of that. I am definitely fond of the fact that everything is bright. It's not, I mean, okay, this map is not a good example, but the other map, it looked interesting. Like, there was a lot going on here. It's obviously really hard to, like, say, hey, these maps look like they're perfect and series is returning to form in its maps, like, just at a glance from this, but it looks nice. I am doing great with these pauses. I'm, like, really on it. I think this actually shows a really positive side of the graphic style for me. The fort looks it's like a nice mix of looking clean and a little bit cartoony, but in a good way. It looks kind of vibrant. It looks like something like I would maybe see in Mario Kart, and I don't want to say that is a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Like, when I saw the leaks, and again, you can look back at the leak video if you want to watch it. I kind of mentioned it numerous times. Everything looked very drab, very bland, and unengaging. I like the style. It kind of reminds me of almost Advance Wars in a way. It kind of pops, and that's good. Because the leaks definitely did not pop. I'm really happy that fists are back. I thought that gauntlets were a really cool thing from Three Houses, and I was kind of worried that they would get cut. It does seem like they are in the form of scrolls now instead of gauntlets, but that's fine. It's cool. A lot of stuff going on with the rings and the stats. I would probably leave that to someone else to analyze. It's been analyzed, but there are a lot of skills going on here. I'm a little bit worried about the SP system. That definitely screams heroes. I am hoping that these rings are not absolutely critical to the characters. My fear is that they're going to be kind of akin to Awakening's pair-up, where you have to have a ring on your character or else they're just not going to contribute. I've also seen a lot of discourse around what the rings will be, if it's going to be the characters that we saw in the opening thing, if it's going to be otherwise. Tough to say. I can see a world where it's just those characters, or maybe those are the characters you get in the story, and you get the other ones through paralogs, or the nightmare scenario is that there's a gacha system, or even worse, that there's a lot of DLC that you have to buy to get all these characters. We'll see. It's really tough to say at this point how it's going to go, but at the very least it's interesting. There are a lot of skills going on, which again is very reminiscent of Heroes. I'll make a lot of comparisons to Heroes, but it does seem like there is a lot of inspiration being taken directly from Heroes in this game. Actually, that's, if I can get the time right, ever. Yeah, the icons are directly from Heroes as well. The axe, lance, sword icons, and the tome icon, I believe those are all straight from Heroes. Very interesting that the game is so willing to take a lot from Heroes but not add Alphonse. I mean, I get that Alphonse is probably considered non-canon, etc., but it just kind of feels a little bit mean to that game. Heroes has its problems, but I think it's a good game overall. Again, I'm actually really interested in the Gauntlet and Healing class you can see in the corner. It's definitely reminiscent to Balthus's class from the Three Houses DLC. I'd be pretty okay with that class returning. It was neat. I didn't really use it a lot, but it was neat. More skills, more Sigurd stuff. I have actually, it's actually worth noting, in the leak it mentioned, this is a little bit of a tangent in relative to Fire Emblem Engage, but the leak explicitly mentioned that the Fire Emblem 4 remake was actually happening. Since everything else in the leak panned out, it does seem very good for the Fire Emblem 4 remake crowd, so congratulations, I hope it's good. It's really cool to see Sigurd get some acknowledgement here. He's not really the most acknowledged lord. He's kind of older, Japan only. I feel like Seliph gets to steal the show a lot, but Sigurd's a pretty cool character. Kind of an idiot. That's another story, but I like him. Also, his ring looks quite good. And here's Somniel, aka the Monastery. We all dreaded it. It's back. I'm not in love with it. I'm not really... I kind of wish it wasn't here. I kind of would probably rather just have like a base system like Teleus had. At the very least, it looks smaller and more streamlined than what we got in Houses. I feel like almost everybody hated the Monastery by about the end of their first run, and they completely despised it by the end of whatever subsequent runs they did. Three Hopes kind of streamlined it, and this is kind of more in that vein, thankfully. I don't really like that you can talk to Marth here. I mentioned it earlier, but I really don't think that the cameo character should be taking up a role in the story, but it's definitely looking like they will, so yes, take it or leave it. Here we go. Got some shops and farming, which... it was part of that direct, so clearly, legally, it had to have farming elements. It's nice that there's some cosmetic options. I feel like Houses did stuff with it, but it wasn't really a lot. Like, all of the cosmetics were basically the uniform, other than, like, Byleth and the house leaders. It was like you could get, like, the loungewear that looked kind of terrible, and you could get, like, the butler costumes and the maid costumes, and that was about it for most of the cast. So it's kind of nice to see that expanded upon. It's another area where I think we're probably going to see a ton of DLC, but whatever. If it's all cosmetic, then that's fine. I really just do hope that the new characters are interesting. I hope that the spotlight isn't purely stolen by the cameo cast, but I worry that it might be. I will mention it all day. I am not fond of these character designs. I think that everyone looks too young. I think when I saw that it was Gust, when I saw that it was similar to Atelier, I was kind of put off immediately, and I didn't really like it in the leaks. I don't really like it now. I just think that it's... I feel like saying too anime is kind of mean, but I do think it's like the most accurate thing I can say. I feel like this is a little bit too anime. It's got like this really big eyes. The series has its anime inspirations. It's a pretty anime series, don't get me wrong. It's been called Anime Chess for years for a reason. But it does look like it's even more anime than before, and I'm not a huge fan of going in that direction, but it is what it is. This warp and attack has been mentioned a billion times, but it looks really good to me. Probably not that much else to say here. Basically, I'm excited. I think that the game is promising. I will admit that there are some red flags here. I'm just going to be open with that. I think that the title is, like, when I saw the title and everything else, I was like, is this a spin-off game? Is this supposed to be a main title? Like, it sounds like a mobile title, to be honest. I have mentioned it numerous times throughout the videos, well, I guess both videos, I mentioned it in the video too. I don't think that that any focus should be given to the cameo cast. I feel like it's just not a good idea. We've seen those characters, we've seen their stories. If you want to revisit them, do sequels to their stories or remakes, but don't have them take over a new story. I don't know. I'm really hoping that we don't get actual Grima. Again, that story feels closed. I don't really see the need to bring him back other than just sheer fan service. And I'm hoping that IS is a little bit better than that, but we'll see. Overall though, the gameplay does look interesting. I think that the maps look good, the UI looks good, the graphical style is definitely a big step up from what we saw in the leaks. The ring system could be interesting. I hope that they balance it well. We'll see. Who knows? Overall, I mean, I'm definitely getting the game. I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan. No question about that. I hope it's good. I am definitely wary. I definitely see a world where it's not good, but I'm just really hoping that it's a fun time, and that's just the bottom line, I guess. I hope it's good. I would love to hear your thoughts as well. I know some people actually really like the character design. Some people are really into Toothpaste-chan. More power to you. Some people love the cameos. More power to you. Let me know what you think. If you have any thoughts, if you have any speculation, any theories, any hopes, or hopes that things aren't going to happen, or etc. Do you think we're going to get loaded with DLC and gacha? Do you think the game is going to be good, bad, whatever? I would love to hear from you. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I just thought I'd kind of run through the trailer and give apparently a 20-minute thought process about where I'm at, what I think, how I feel, etc. It's a little bit lighter on the analysis side than I was initially hoping for, but that's perfectly fine. Other people have done it and done it very well, so watch their videos instead. So, as always, really appreciate anybody who watched this. Hopefully you guys are excited too. Thank you so much. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.